know that there are people out there going to the polls to vote against this government because we closed down Petrotrin. But the rest of you, whose future has been secured by that restructuring of Petrotrin, you won't vote to. You're going to vote to.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Brownlee speaking during a PNM to St. Joseph campaign meetup on Wednesday night about his administration's decision to restructure the state-owned oil company and the potential impact it could have on voting in the general election on August 10th. Dr. Rowley maintained that the decision to replace Petrin with Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited and its 4 subsidiaries has resulted in TPHL subsidiary Heritage Petroleum making a profit and the new company paying the loan left behind by Petrin. He also spoke about the economic impact of the COVID-19 crisis and the UNC's campaign promises for economic recovery.
You, people of Trinidad and Tobago, it's your decision whether this government continues or you go following people with this stupidness about reopening Gary. You know, that is so inanely dotish.
A reference to a campaign promised by the UNC as identified in its General Election Manifesto published online on Wednesday to invite private investors to establish a new state-of-the-art cooperative sugar manufacturing company at Usine St. Madeleine.
Carly was shut down because the European Union and the United States had stopped paying the preferential price that they were paying, allowed Trinidad and Tobago to pretend to be in the sugar business. I want to know what that story comes from, and somebody tell me molasses doesn't go wrong.
The UNC's manifesto says that since the closure of Carly 1975 Limited some 15 years ago under a past PNM administration, Trinidad and Tobago spends over $300 million a year importing sugar and sugar products.
I am offering you here the roadmap, post-COVID roadmap, from the brains, the minds, the experience of our country, who tells us where this country is going to go, why we should go there. And you're going to tell me you're considering Kamala Prasad sister and David Nakid, them going to open back Carry, and they're going to open back Petrotrin.
Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
The only place in the world that the border closure has been deemed to be worse than slavery is in Trinidad and Tobago. Tonight, I want to say to Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessam and all her supporters, in this Trinidad and Tobago, where we all call home, we've come from different places under different circumstances. I don't know if she knows. Maybe I can give her the benefit of the doubt, so that she doesn't know. Because for those of us who are descendants of slaves, especially if you have black skin like me, blank skin as you call it, if you don't know what slavery means to a black person, you've been advised to get a book and read it. I'll give you a better piece of advice. Go to Washington. There's a museum of Black American history. Take 3 days and go through that museum, and you'll never be the same again. And you'll never talk a stupidness like that again. Slavery is an environment in which people are plucked from where they belong, taken to another place under the most inhumane conditions. Children ripped from their parents, abused by others in the worst possible way. Hardly can one find another condition where man has been so inhumane to other men. In fact, up until recently, a black African was only a portion of a man in a nation close to us. And some still behave as though they were a portion. As Prime Minister of this country, I listened to and I watched the opposition leader call me an Oreo. I watch all the other voices in the country stay silent. But if I had made a similar statement about an East Indian Prime Minister of equivalent offense, this whole country would have condemned me. But I ask for no apology. I just say to you, Mr. Predecessor, my grandfather, long before the nation celebrated Emancipation Day on August 1st, my grandfather, conscious and cognizant of our history, he worked every day of his working life, but he never worked on the 1st of August. 1st of August was the only day that he would stay home. He would call it August Day, and on that day he never worked until the nation accepted August 1st as Emancipation Day. Such an expensive. Today, as we take issue with rectifying the state sector, Petrotrim, Caribbean Airlines, NGC, putting them in a position for a strong future. Our foot in the energy sector now is stronger and firmer in heritage. Caribbean Airlines, notwithstanding the COVID, was on a strong footing going forward, declaring a profit. And NGC that they took into bankruptcy, we negotiated new arrangements to put the NGC back on profitability. That's what we do. That's what we did. That's what we are doing. That's what we will do. So when you go to the polls, you have a choice. That this responsible approach to governance, this clearing of a path for the young people of Trinidad and Tobago will continue on August 11th. Or you can gamble with those who don't want casinos regulated. Gamble, add the country to it. Add the country to the chips. But I know that you are responsible people. I know that you are concerned about our country. I know that you know that sometimes when it's difficult, you just have to buckle down. And the rewards are greater. The harder the victory, the harder the fight, the sweeter the victory. We're going to come out of this. We're going to come out of all of this. The economic, the crime, the COVID. We're going to come out of it with our people in time. And we'll step forward with boundless faith in our destiny. So on August 10th, it might even be the day when the rains come, because we haven't had rain for the longest while. Our reservoirs are almost empty. But even if that's the day when the rains come out and vote in support of the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Come out and vote in support of good management as demonstrated by a responsible government of a party that has put its roots down here 65 years ago, and you're not gambling, you're just supporting and strengthening the nation. And when you do that, having cast your vote for the PNN candidate, our symbol is the Balize. Wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a symbol there with a candidate and a standard bearer. Wherever you are going to vote, I ask you tonight to join forces with us, the progressive people of Trinidad and Tobago. And in 2020, if you've never voted PNM before, this is the year that you vote PNM. Come out and vote for the PNM. And for those of you who have been voting for the PNM before, they've given an opportunity again to stand with the PNM, because we have earned and deserve your support. So come August 10th, come out and vote. Come out and vote. Come out and vote. And when you vote on the day of August the 10th, on the night of August the 10th, when the votes are tallied, we must exhale in Trinidad and Tobago. We must know that we have escaped and dodged that bullet of the fear of losing to them. And we will all shout, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.